The British monarchy has endured wars, abdications, scandals, and seismic cultural shifts. Yet, in the modern media age, where public opinion can turn overnight and reputations are shaped by headlines, the survival of the institution depends less on tradition alone and more on trust. At the center of one of its most damaging controversies in recent memory stands Prince Andrew, whose dramatic fall from grace has become a defining challenge for King Charles III and a looming test for Prince William. The question is no longer whether Andrew's reputation has been damaged. That reality is long established. The deeper question is whether his continued association with the royal family could threaten the credibility, authority, and long-term stability of the monarchy itself. This is not simply a family issue. It is a constitutional one. It is a public relations crisis. And above all, it is a test of leadership for the present and future kings.
For decades, Prince Andrew was known as the confident second son of Queen Elizabeth II. A former naval officer who served during the Falklands War, he once enjoyed strong public approval. Dubbed a war hero prince in his youth, Andrew appeared to embody duty and royal glamour. But the very privilege that elevated him also insulated him. Over time, controversies began to accumulate. Questions about business dealings, friendships with controversial figures, and judgment calls that baffled even loyal royal watchers. The most damaging allegations ultimately led to his withdrawal from public duties. The infamous televised interview meant to clear his name instead intensified scrutiny, becoming one of the most widely criticized royal media appearances in modern history. By stepping back from official roles, Andrew effectively exited public royal life. Yet stepping back is not the same as disappearing, and that distinction is critical. Because while Andrew no longer represents the crown in an official capacity, he remains a prince, he remains a duke, and he remains the brother of the king.
When King Charles ascended the throne, he inherited more than the crown. He inherited unresolved tensions, family fractures, public skepticism, and a shifting national mood about the monarchy's role in the 21st century. Charles has long advocated for a slimmed-down monarchy, a smaller, more focused group of working royals whose roles are clearly defined. In theory, this approach strengthens accountability and reduces reputational risk. But Andrew's existence on the periphery complicates that vision. Even without official duties, Andrew's presence creates headlines. Public appearances at family events generate backlash. Financial questions provoke renewed criticism. Each development pulls attention away from Charles's efforts to redefine the monarchy around service and sustainability. The king faces a delicate balancing act. Protect the dignity of the crown. Respect the bonds of family. Maintain public trust. Cutting ties too harshly risks appearing cold and divided. Doing too little risks appearing weak or complicit. Leadership in a constitutional monarchy is symbolic, but symbolism matters profoundly. Every decision sends a message.
If King Charles represents continuity, Prince William represents the future. William's popularity has consistently ranked high among younger generations. He is viewed as modern, grounded, and committed to social causes such as mental health awareness and environmental initiatives. As Prince of Wales, he carries the weight of expectation for a more streamlined, relatable monarchy. But William also understands something fundamental. Public patience is not infinite. Younger audiences, in particular, demand accountability. They expect institutions to act decisively when reputations are at stake. The Andrew situation, therefore, becomes more than a lingering family matter. It becomes a test of whether the monarchy can align itself with contemporary values. If William is to inherit not just a crown, but genuine public support, he must ensure the institution he leads reflects transparency and responsibility. That may require difficult decisions.
Modern monarchies survive on consent. Unlike elected leaders, they cannot campaign. Their legitimacy is cultural, historical, and emotional, but it is also conditional. Public trust rests on three pillars: integrity, accountability, service. When controversies persist without clear resolution, trust erodes. Polling over recent years has shown fluctuations in support for the monarchy, particularly among younger citizens. While Charles and William remain respected figures, the institution itself is often scrutinized more intensely than ever before. Andrew's controversy feeds broader Republican arguments that question privilege, transparency, and relevance. Even those who support the monarchy may wonder whether enough distance has been created. In this environment, perception becomes reality. One of the most sensitive aspects of Andrew's downfall has been financial support. Questions surrounding security arrangements, property use, and funding sources have drawn public attention. Taxpayers expect clarity. Any perception that public funds indirectly benefit a controversial figure fuels criticism. King Charles has reportedly taken steps to redefine financial arrangements within the royal household structure, emphasizing fiscal responsibility. But each adjustment becomes headline news, often reigniting debate. For William, inheriting a monarchy entangled in recurring financial controversies would present a significant obstacle to modernization. The monarchy once relied on carefully managed press relationships. Today, social media platforms amplify every development instantly. A photograph, a court update, a leaked document. Each can spark global conversation within minutes. Andrew's situation has shown how quickly narratives can spiral. Attempts at rehabilitation are scrutinized heavily. Silence is interpreted. Appearances are analyzed. For Charles and William, controlling the narrative is nearly impossible. Instead, they must shape it through consistent action. Inside royal circles, there is often a distinction between the family and the firm. One is personal, the other is institutional. Andrew belongs to both. For King Charles, the decision is profoundly personal. This is his brother. For William, it is an uncle. Yet their primary duty is not familial loyalty, it is constitutional responsibility. History offers precedent. When Edward VIII abdicated in 1936, the monarchy prioritized stability over sentiment. The institution survived because decisive action was taken. The Andrew question echoes faintly with that historical memory. When personal actions threaten institutional credibility, what must be done? Some argue that the monarchy is resilient enough to withstand individual scandals. After all, it has endured crises before. Yet, the modern era is different in one crucial respect. Transparency is relentless. If Andrew were to re-emerge in a way that reignites controversy, critics could frame it as evidence that reform has stalled. In a climate where public institutions face constant scrutiny, complacency can be costly. For King Charles, the risk is reputational. For Prince William, the risk is generational. The most likely future is not dramatic exile, but gradual distancing, clear boundaries, limited association, financial independence, reduced visibility. Such measures allow Charles to demonstrate firmness without spectacle. They allow William to inherit a monarchy that appears disciplined rather than divided. Ultimately, the Andrew issue may not end the monarchy, but mishandling it could weaken public confidence at a sensitive time. A defining leadership moment. Every reign faces defining challenges. For Queen Elizabeth II, it was navigating a rapidly modernizing society. For King Charles III, it may well be proving that accountability and tradition can coexist. Prince William, watching closely, understands that his future authority depends on the decisions made today. The monarchy's strength lies not in perfection, but in its ability to adapt. Prince Andrew's downfall is a reminder that personal choices can have institutional consequences. Whether those consequences become lasting damage depends on how decisively and thoughtfully the current and future kings respond. In the end, the survival of the crown will not hinge on one prince alone. It will hinge on leadership, clarity, and the courage to place duty above discomfort. And that is the true test now facing King Charles and Prince William.